Kal Halel Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kadash. Special thanks to Great Millstone. Double honors to the chief apostles, bishops, and elders who rule and teach well. Shalom, O Israel. I've titled the lesson today, Memorial Day. Book of Joshua, chapter 4, verses 2 and 3. Let me add before we start this lesson that these precepts are going to keep you true Israelites, you so-called Latinos, Negroes, Native Indians, strong and courageous amidst this time of refining, as the Father is removing all impurities and the dross from our lives. Just as Joshua and Caleb conquered and inherited the promised land and conquested all that the Lord had for the true Israelites back then. It's our duty and goal as the hopeful elect upon the earth today to remain strong and courageous and to stay under the umbrella of prophetical vision and keep doing the work of the Lord until our great high priest and King Yahushua returns with the holy angels, making full proof of our ministry, doing the work of an evangelist, as Paul wrote and consoled Timothy in 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 5. So let's stay strong and courageous, O Israel. Joshua chapter 4, 2 and 3. Take you 12 men out of the people, out of every tribe of man, and command you them, saying, Take you hence out of the midst of Jordan, out of the place where the priest's feet stood firm, 12 stones, and ye shall carry them over with you, and leave them in the lodging place, where you shall lodge this night. The book of Joshua, chapter 4, 6 and 7. That this may be a sign among you, that when your children ask their fathers in time to come, saying, What mean you by these stones? Then ye shall answer them, that the waters of the Jordan were cut off before the ark of the covenant of the Lord, when it passed over Jordan. The waters of Jordan were cut off, and these stones shall be for a memorial unto the children of Israel forever. Not only were these stones symbolic of the 12 tribes of Israel, but let me go ahead and just read this last passage here to get a greater understanding of this Memorial Day message. As this is a Memorial Day message to the true Israelites who have been held in 6 different captivities across the earth through the Father's chastisement and doing of His will. for our disobedience unto the laws, statutes, and commandments that he gave his servant Moses on Mount Horeb, Mount Sinai, Exodus 19 and 20. This message here in no way, shape, or form coincides, is parallel, or in any shape, fashion, or form tries to resemble the wickedness of Esau Edom, the so-called white man, and his idea of his holidays, Christmas, Easter, July 4th, Labor Day, Memorial Day, whatever. These are all just pagan and heathen customs that keep you true Israelites, you so-called Latinos, Negroes, and Native Indians, subjected to his beguilement and endless genealogies and philosophies that keep you bogged down and weighted down to sin, to bondage. Paul said in Galatians 5 verse 1, to stand fast in the liberty wherewith Yahushua set us free, and not get entangled again to the yoke of bondage. But I've titled this lesson Memorial Day as we look at Joshua chapter 4, 19 through 24, as Yahushua, he's coming back. You can see it. The signs are evident. The holy angels and Yahushua are going to suddenly appear. These crooked devils are trying to talk about a Memorial Day. Joshua chapter 4, 19 through 24. And the people came up out of Jordan on the 10th day of the first month, and encamped in Gilgal, in the east border of Jericho. And those 12 stones which they took out of Jordan did Joshua pitch in Gilgal. And he spake unto the children of Israel, saying, when your children shall ask their fathers in time to come, saying, what mean these stones? Then ye shall let your children know, saying, Israel came over this Jordan on dry ground. For the Lord your power dried up the waters of Jordan from before you until ye were passed over, as the Lord your power did to the Red Sea, which he dried up from before us until we were gone over, that all the people of the earth might know the hand of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah Kadash, that it is mighty, that ye might fear the Lord your power forever. 1 Kings 8, verse 53. It's line upon line, precept upon precept, as you true Israelites, you so-called Latinos, Native Indians, as we just read, were to fear the Lord, your power, all the days of your life. Yeah, that's how the Lord set this thing up. Let's get that back one more time. Joshua 4:24. That all the people of the earth might know the hand of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah Kadash, that it is mighty, that ye might fear the Lord your power forever. This has a prophetical tone and pulse to this verse here. As the Israelites back then are back today through the regeneration. Those same souls, those same spirits are back today, that ye might fear the Lord your power forever. 1 Kings 8:53. For thou didst separate them from among all the people of the earth, to be thine inheritance, as thou spakest by the hand of Moses, thy servant, when thou broughtest our fathers out of Egypt, O Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kadash. Exodus 14, 13 and 14. Yahweh Shai is on his way back. He's basically here. He hasn't just appeared yet. And beloved, it is not yet clear what we shall be, but we know that when he appears, we too shall be made like him, for we shall see him as he is. And the hopeful elect are just prisoners of prophecy at this point, longing to be clothed with that supernatural makeup, like our great King and High Priest, Yahweh Shai. You better fear that great and terrible power, because as he comes back this time, he's going to wreak motherfucking havoc upon the Israelites who don't obey the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of their ability. You unrighteous 2/3 of Israel, as well as all the heathen and pagan nations, namely Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. He's got to get paid back for all his atrocities, crimes. Just look out across the earth and look at this maniac, this lunatic, this devil, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, in full pursuit of a wicked agenda. He's not slowing down in any respect either. You true Israelites better fear Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kadash, because in that day, in that very second, at that great moment, he ain't playing no games. Exodus 14, 13 and 14. And Moses said unto the people, Fear ye not, stand still, and see the salvation of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kadash, which he will show to you today. For the Egyptians whom you have seen today, ye shall see them again no more forever. The Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. Point is, until Yahweh Shai suddenly appears, understand on that great day that's right before us, he's going to make all things good for you true Israelites. As the Lord is fighting our battles right now, through wisdom and knowledge, which is the stability of you true Israelites' time, and the strength of your salvation, and the fear of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Rakah Kadash is your treasure. Remember, as Yahweh Shai and the holy angels and the spiritual realm fight for you, ye shall hold your peace. For perfect peace is he whose mind is fixed on Yahweh. Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Bahashem Rakah Kadash. For he trusts in thee. Isaiah 26 verse 3. 2 Corinthians 10 verse 4. Thinking that we're some cowards. And we're not putting up any type of resistance or a fight. 2 Corinthians 10 verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kadash, to the pulling down of strongholds. 1 Thessalonians 5:17. As we feast on these rivers of living water, understand it's line upon line, precept upon precept. Here a little, there a little. Understanding that this word here is a working word. It's going to do all the work for you. But you're going to have to operate in the realm of faith. The apostles went up and asked Yahweh Shai. They said, we spoke the word, but we didn't see any action behind it. Yahweh Shai said, yeah, that word's got to be mixed with faith. 1 Thessalonians 5:17, pray without ceasing. Philippians 4 verse 6. It's one thing we put down or don't hold on to very much or grab a hold of tightly. The word says that we're to give the more earnest heed, lest at any time the things we have learned we let them slip. So understand that this prayer that I'm referring to, that's what puts those angels in action. That's what puts Yahweh Shai as your rear guard, Isaiah 52 verse 12, on the move for you, making a way for you. Those angels are going up and down, back and forth to the Father in that great name of Yahweh Shai with your supplications. Philippians 4 verse 6. Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto Yahweh. Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kadash. And my doctrine ain't off. You understand? My doctrine's right there. As I know our great King and High Priest, Yahweh Shai, is able. He's the one that's going to work all these things out for the good of the hopeful elect. They couldn't understand back in Babylonian captivity. Might as well pull that out. Why they were going to go into 70 years of captivity. Jeremiah let them know. As one of the other priests were trying to sway them towards disbelieving that the destruction and the captivity weren't at hand. Jeremiah told him. We might as well get this out. Jeremiah 29, 9 through 11. For they prophesy falsely unto you in my name. I have not sent them, saith the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kadash. For thus saith the Lord, that after 70 years be accomplished at Babylon, I will visit you and perform my good word towards you, and causing you to return to this place. For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kadash, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. And so we're hoping on Yahweh Shai's soon return, as we see these signs, as this crooked devil, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, don't put your hopes in his wicked kingdom. The Father has given all things over unto him at this time, being the sword of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kadash, Psalm 17, verse 13. So don't put your trust in this wicked devil's system, understanding that he's about to get paid back. Romans 12, 18 and 19. If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. So it's time to walk in wisdom, you true Israelites. Don't do anything foolish. This crooked devil's just waiting to make a spectacle out of the hopeful elect and flip this whole thing around. He's just waiting. Right now he's on the spotlight. Everything's focused on this devil. The truth's been unleashed, and everybody knows him for who he is. So understand, let this fool keep being a fool out there across the earth. But as for you true Israelites, walk in that fear of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kadash, daily, looking down the road, not at just what's in front of you. Proverbs 9 verse 12. If thou be wise, thou shalt be wise for thyself. But if thou scornest, thou alone shalt bear it. Proverbs 27 verse 12. It's a duality proverb here, quoted in two places. Dual meaning two, as in twice. Proverbs 27:12. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. But the simple pass on and are punished. Proverbs 22 verse 3. You true Israelites, stay clear of that wicked 2/3 Israel out there who's in love with this crooked kingdom. Have no part in his unfruitful works of darkness. Proverbs 22 verse 3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. But the simple pass on and are punished. Punishment's coming. Isaiah 13 verse 11. As we see in the day of the Lord, like I said, it's here. Yahweh Shai and the angels just haven't appeared yet. But that cruel and fierce day of the Lord is right in front of us. Isaiah 13 verse 11. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. This time I'm going to have to conclude the lesson. But you true Israelites, fear Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kadash, and the 100% truth of these holy scriptures, knowing that this true doctrine of salvation through faith in the return of Yahweh Shai for the hopeful elect is going to get you onto that chariot where you can sit up top, Revelations 15:3, singing the song of Moses with the righteous 1/3, starting with the 144,000 of the elect of Israel, as we look down and get our satisfaction on the destruction of the wicked as we come back down Revelations 22 verse 12. As John saw Salaki, Revelations 21 verse 2. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kadash, out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. We're going to come down out of those chariots and that great father chariot, hunt these crooked, wicked demons down who are hiding in these bunkers and spaceports, wherever, every little nook, crack, and cranny, wherever they try to hide out at. We're coming down. No more fishing. We're hunting for you crooked devils. We're going to set up our eternal kingdom. An eternal kingdom wherein with righteousness shall dwell. So understand on this great, great, great Memorial Day, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kadash. That's who you need to fear and remember. Understanding those 12 stones back in Joshua chapter 4 were set up at Gilgal. As you looked into Joshua chapter 5, the next chapter, understand why flint stones were made. That stone of flint, that knife was put forth. And those Israelites were recircumcised as they came out of the wilderness. That's symbolic of the elect. Not everybody that came out of the wilderness was recircumcised. The Lord let them dwell around for 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 years, running around in a circle. He wanted that evil generation to die off. Everybody wasn't making it into the promised land. Gilgal, that's where those 12 stones were set up. Gilgal, Gibeah Haraloth, a hill of foreskins. Understand Yahweh Shai, he's coming back to slay the wicked. He's coming back to motherfucking slay the wicked. The word says in Revelations 14, 19, and 20, the blood is going to be up to the horse's bridle and 180 miles long, or 1,600 stadia, however you want to look at it. That's the distance from Palestine to the south to Palestine to the north. Kel Hallel Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Wal Rakah Kadash, the water.